Hey everybody, this is Video Active, and we're going to dive into some videos today and see if the truth is really out there. So this first video that we're going to be watching is from Professor Simon. He's not a professor of physics, he's a professor of film, but his hobby is physics videos and science and stuff like that. And he's a lot of fun to watch. This video is about SETI locating a technological signature from an exoplanet. SETI had a program that you would download on your computer called SETI at Home. There was so much data that they had, the only way for them to process it was they came up with this ingenious idea of a screensaver. And they would send you and I little bits of data, and whenever our computers rested, the screensaver would turn on and start processing that data. And if it found any alien signatures, ET calling home, it would send that back to SETI and say, hey, check this data out. And it was a great way of processing it. Well, it was actually a complete flop. No one found anything until a mathematician got a hold of it and started looking at these very slight signatures over multiple users and narrowed this signal down, and it really turned into something. And so that's what this video is about, the alien technological signature found from BLC-1. All right, let's get started here.
An alien technological signal has been detected. Signs of an advanced civilization, talking, sharing data, or transmitting information. Who are they? We don't know. Where are they? We do know. For over 20 years, this has been known about, but not shared outside the astronomical community. Why not? We are ready for confirmation. Ready to hear we are not alone. You want answers? So do I. So today, I hand you over to Simon, who begins to answer your questions.
Hey,
what was the big secret?
A lot of you have actually asked me, is this real? Well, yes. Peer-reviewed Nature article, Alien Technosignature Verification Framework by Breakthrough Listen. It is real. They found something. So how do you find detail? That's what's being funded right now by the EU Horizon Fund. This is a very interesting story. I've heard that a technosignature, what it is, listening to technology from aliens that isn't coming from Earth, is a much smarter way of actually looking out there for aliens. I mean, are they going to say hi? No, probably not. But their daily life, like ours, we transmit the I Love Lucy show, or we did. And aliens by now, it's disseminated into the universe, and eventually aliens are going to pick it up and go, Desi Arnaz. So today I'm going to answer some of your questions and also verify what I'm saying is real by a peer-reviewed Nature article on the Breakthrough Listen project. Oh, by the way, this is really fun. I put out an interview request with a leading member of Breakthrough Listen. These are the people actually listening for the technological signature right now. I think the other thing I'd like to say is we live in 2024. Something amazing has happened with radio telescopes. You can now network them together to make the whole planet Earth into one giant radio telescope. Multiplex signals. So there's radio telescopes in Europe. A new one has just...
So what he's talking about, multiplexing all these different telescopes together, that is going to be technology that gets us the answers. So we're not receiving a signal, hello, are you there signal, right? Well, we may be. But what they're able to do with the shift in these multiple antennas is find super low amplitude trash. If you were to sit on the moon with a AM radio, you would hear all this static, all this noise coming from all of our radio channels, our hand communications, like he was talking about I Love Lucy being distributed and shot out all over space. So that's what they were able to find, was kind of like the byproducts. It's not a direct signal, knock, knock, hey, are you there? We're hearing the interference and unnatural RF communications from a planet. And that's what's pretty cool about this.
Built in Africa, and we have the Square Kilometre Array, possibly the world's leading radio telescope in Australia. But we have something much more than that. We can now join all their signals together to make a giant ear to listen for an alien technological signal. And that's what the Horizon Project. The Horizon Project is the overall overarching funding from the EU to all science. I mean, everything. But if you look at their budget, which I have for you, they're funding radio astronomy right now like there's no croissant in the word tomorrow. So let me get myself together and be serious for a minute and actually talk about this Nature article on how you could possibly look for an alien technological signature. There's a link in the description, but I'm just going to read it out because it's probably easier. Abstract. Abstract means just like the summary of the paper. And it says, the aim of the search for extraterrestrial intelligence, which we know is called SETI, is to find technologically capable life beyond Earth. Yes, please. But a new approach is listening for alien technosignatures. I mean, are they using advanced physics to communicate? On the 29th of April 2019, that's a bit after they first heard it, the Breakthrough Listen SETI project at Parkes Murriyang radio telescope, that's in Australia, found data. You see, this is very interesting wording. In a narrowband signal, also very interesting, narrowband signal that is consistent with a technological alien signature in the 982 megahertz BLC1 band, where you would expect to hear something. Here in this paper, look at the description, we present how you would work out if it's real or if it's interference. You see, that's the point. I mean, it might be somebody in the comments said, are we actually listening to our signal being bound?
I know I'm going to start listening on 982 megahertz and see what I can hear.
Back are the deep space Lagrange point satellites that are actually confusing the radio telescopes. There are now deep space probes. We have satellites in orbit around Mars. How do you think they get the data back from the Mars rovers? So here's their results. They say, we found in BLC1 a signal, and it's shown in figure 1. This is a waterfall plot. And again, I'll put this up full screen so you who understand what a waterfall plot is, that's just time and frequency falling like a waterfall, but it shows detail graphically. The waterfall signal in this graphic represents many hours of observation, not just a snapshot. They go on to say, we first ensured that the telescope and back-end logs showed normal operation. Good. We filtered out anything else in the 982 megahertz band, including aircraft. A signal from a distant planet, that's what we're saying, would be geographically unique to that location. So, for example, little green men here, and you're listening over here, and you're hearing it, shouldn't work. It's only when you point the beep, 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 point to him do you hear something. If you're hearing it everywhere, it's probably a natural occurrence. Astronomically close to the target are 2 pulsars, and they had to eliminate those signals, which can be multi-spectrum, so I'm sure that was hard, but you could filter them out. Oh, this is good. Finally, we honed in on the signal, and it was offset by 12.5 degrees from the nearest star. Oh, that's good. Star, planet. What we found were highly attenuated, low-level signals at the expected drift rate.
So, if I'm not mistaken, what he was just saying there, the offset, so we're looking at BLC1 or BL, what that star's name is, right? Because the C1 stands for Candidate 1, which is the planet. So they could tell when they were seeing that signal, it was offset by 12 degrees from the star. So the noise is not coming from the star. The noise is coming from something 12 degrees offset from the star, hence, more than likely, a celestial object around that star. That's what I'm gathering. Pretty sure that's what he's talking about. Anyway, let's get back to the video.
I'm drifting, right? Orbiting. And this is the night in question. On November 2020, we began our scheduled observation from Murriyang, the radio telescope. They also eliminated LEO, low Earth orbit satellites. I'll put this full screen, again in their Nature article, that were above the horizon at the time of the observations in 2020. And this, I'm about to show you, is what they found. Edit here for full frame. Are you noticing these striations, stripes? They're at a set rate. This is not a natural occurrence. And finally, looking at all the statistical probability, they came up with this. Cut to full frame. What you're seeing here is a plot showing the population of lookalikes and mirrored lookalikes compared to the BLC1 start frequency we were searching for. High probability. So what's going to happen next? Well, they're not going to tell you. This is well known in the science community. Me and my science mates know that this is going on. I have a YouTube channel and I want everybody to know. But this...
I wonder if there's any way that they've got to be analyzing this data, trying to decipher it. Is it an analog signal? Is it binary? Anyway, I want to know what it says. Again, is it just a plethora of all the noise? Like you're hearing, us play, Dave Matthews Band and I Love Lucy's playing on the background, and it's all these mixed up, jumbled signals? Or is it, something that can be deciphered?
This is the proposal for Discovery Listen for the future. Our found source is still uniquely fascinating. It's a SETI, Search for Extraterrestrial Intelligence, target for very good reasons. The search and the interpretation of this signal gives us unique challenges and will require a network of radio telescopes rather than one dish listening to it. And that, my good friends and new subscribers, is all I know for now. This article that I read out and published in Nature is now 4 years old. In 2024, the EU Horizon Fund has funded networked radio telescopes, as I said, in Germany, in Africa, and now the enormous telescope in Australia. I'm hearing through the grapevine they are focused on one SETI target. We need answers. I think this should go public, and they want more detail. The truth is out there.
All right, well, there you have it. That's pretty, I don't know. There's nothing more interesting to me right now than that. So definitely going to keep a look. I'm going to do some more research, see what I can find on BLC1. But we'll definitely keep an eye out for any updated videos on that. And we'll let you know what we find. It's out there somewhere.